Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got another deck profile, obviously another one part of the Albaz lore. Like I've already said, I'll be doing a lot more of this stuff, and today we've got Springans. Springans was actually so much fun. I really enjoyed it. It's a shame that they don't do a little bit more. There's some games maybe I lost just because I needed one more interaction or something like that. But yeah, other than that, the deck was really fun, and we'll just dive straight into it. So, I'll do this a bit differently to how I normally do profiles, but we've got three Springans Rocky. Rocky's really good. When it's normal or special summons, you can target Great Sea, Sand, Gold, Thunder, or one Springans monster in your graveyard, accept himself, and then add it to your hand, and that's really good. They all have the same effect that you can attach them to a Springans XYZ also. Got Brothers. If Brothers is sent from hand or deck to the graveyard, you can target a Springans monster in your graveyard, accept himself, and then special summon it in defense. Obviously, again, another very good one. I'll play one Pedal. Pedal is just like you contribute it and then target one Springans monster in your graveyard, accept himself, and then special summon it. And obviously, it's the same effect. You can attach it. We're playing two Captain Sargas, and we're playing two Branga. So Branga. So Branga, you can banish this card and another Springans monster from your graveyard, and then add a Springans card to your hand. And then obviously Captain Sargas is kind of like he is the one that is a bit more of an interaction. You can detach a XYZ material from an XYZ monster you control, so it's good. It works well with like other things. Doesn't just have to be like a Springans XYZ. And then you can target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. That is like their theme, is like destroy, obviously with Explorer as well. But so that's the other interaction that you have. Moving on, of course, we've got two Fallen of Albaz. This is really good because when you tag out your Merrymaker with two materials, you foolish a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz. You obviously send Sprint, and then Sprint can either special summon a Springans monster or Fallen of Albaz, and then you obviously summon Fallen of Albaz, and then you super poly away their board, and then you kill them next turn. Like, that happened so many times that it was just amazing. We are playing a little Dogmatica package. Maximus is nice, I'm not gonna lie. Maximus in this deck is just so nice. To be able to send like Sprint, to be able to special summon your Captain Sargas, or if you're going to send in Tis to go second, or Omega to start shuffling back like your Sprint again, or your Merrymaker. It's so good, and obviously we know what these all do. Then we're playing the hand traps. We've got 3 Nibiru, and then we've got Gamma. So these work really well if you end on a board with just Merrymaker. So Merrymaker obviously tags itself out, and then you're going to send Spring, and then in the end phase you'll be able to bring out Fallen of Albaz. But when you do that, there's now no monsters on your side of the field, so Gamma is now live, and the Nibiru obviously is better because you're not tributing your own monsters, you're just tributing your opponents. So these two work really well within the deck. We then play 9 copies of Golgonda. You have to, because it's a field spell deck, so you have to. Spriggan's Booty, obviously you activate it and then you contribute it to set one straight from the field, so it can't be ashed. Terraforming obviously can be ashed, just adds you Great Sea, Sand, Golgonda. And then Spriggan's Watch also has 2 effects, so if you don't have Golgonda, then you can activate this and get it. If you do, you can add a Springans monster and Foolish Bury your Springans monster, which is that's pretty good. To add them Foolish is crazy. And then Great Sea, Sand, Golgonda has 2 effects. The most important one is if you don't control an XYZ monster, then you can discard a Springans monster and then special summon one, and then obviously you can attach the Merrymaker, and then that's how you get your XYZs. You don't have to like clean make it. Also, all Springans XYZ monsters on the field gain 1,000 attack, sorry. And then finally, if a face-up XYZ monster you control leaves the field, You can target one monster your opponent controls and it can't attack for the rest of the turn, which is obviously pretty good. And this booty also has another effect that when an XYZ monster you control leaves the field by card effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls. Neither player can activate that monster's effects on the field this turn. So obviously this one's a negate and this one just stops something from attacking, which is kind of nice. It's pretty good. Then of course we are playing 3 in a DS7. Not really much to explain about this. Hopefully it doesn't go to 1. I imagine it will, but I don't really think it should. Yeah, it is a good card, but it's not really like changing the meta. It doesn't dominate in the meta. Like things like Lyrillus need to be checked, in my opinion. But yeah, we know what it does. You're gonna Foolish from your extra deck and then add Ecclesia or, well, a Dogmatica monster. But one branded in white comes up sometimes. It's bad to draw, I won't lie, it is bad to draw. But obviously you can Foolish. If you've Foolished your Albion, then you can add your branded in white, which is nice. More interaction, free Chalice. I would have put more hand traps in, but we're already at like 44 cards. I just wanted as much interaction as I can, and I think I prefer Chalice over Imperm just because you have that leeway to do your plays and then interact when you need to, rather than Imperm, you have to do it then and there. And then obviously we've got one Spriggan's Call, one Spriggan's Blast. So Spriggan's Call is pretty much like it kind of sounds. It's basically a monster reborn for a Spriggan's monster or a Fallen of Albaz in your graveyard. The second effect doesn't really come up. You can like banish it and one fusion monster from your graveyard, then target a Spriggan's XYZ monster you control. Attach one fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as a material. It doesn't really come up. It's more just for the special summon. So you're going to special summon like a Spriggan's monster or Fallen of Albaz. That's the only real effect. And then Spriggan's Blast. If you control a Spriggan's monster, choose one opponent's main monster zone. If a monster is face up in that zone during this turn, it cannot attack directly. Also, its effects are negated. If no monster is in that zone, it cannot be used this turn. If you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as a material, you can choose 2 zones instead. But so yeah, so this basically just locks out zones, which is kind of good because you can just lock out. If you're already occupying an extra deck monster zone, then you can just use this to lock out another one. The other one, so they can't do it. So that's pretty nice. Like this is good. And then for the final 2 cards, we have 2 Punishment. I'm very and ahhing about this. I'll probably take it out. There was too many times that I did it and then it just locked me out of what I wanted to do. So although this deck needs as much interaction as you can, I would rather this was like 2 Veilers or 2 Ash Blossom or something like that, just to like be able to interact with my opponent on their turn. And then next, so for the Spriggans, we play 2 Merrymaker and 2 Explorer. So Merrymaker is essentially, they both have the same effect as Quick Effect. You can banish them till the end phase. But Merrymaker, if it has 2 or more materials underneath, then you can Foolish Burial a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz, and then you got Spriggan Ship Explorer, and then you can choose one of your opponent's monster zones or spell and trap zones. Detach any number of materials from this card, and if you do, destroy the same number of cards your opponent controls in that chosen zone and its adjacent monster zone spout trap codes. So obviously you choose a zone and then like if it's 4 you like pop around and yeah, it's all like it's all weird. And then obviously it had the same thing, but you can banish it until the end phase. Then we'll play 1 Ding, because obviously this is actually quite easy to make because Fleur, Maximus, both level 8s, Branger and Captain Sargas are both level 8s as well, and obviously this deck does kind of struggle with like removal, so this is a good way to do that. I mean like non-targeting removal as well, yeah, not like or things that can't be destroyed like Dragoon or something like that. Obviously got 1 Zeus. Our main boss monsters are XYZs, so Zeus is just mandatory, I believe. Then obviously for our Albaz part, we've got 2 Sprint. This is obviously, we play 2 of these because obviously it helps with the Springans stuff as well. Then we've got 1 Albion, so light target. Got 1 Titaniclad the Ash Dragon, anything with 25k or more attack. Then we've got 1 Brind, anything with level 8 or higher. So normally I wouldn't put this one in, but there are some like weird decks where this does come up. So so like for example Prank Kids, this, no, not Prank Kids, sorry. So for example, a deck that I played recently where this actually came up was Super Heavy Samurai. I know you're not going to play that very often, but it came up, so it does come up occasionally, so it is in there. Then we got 1 Antis, obviously to send from Punishment or from Servant or Maximus, and then we got Omega, same thing, you're going to send from those. Also, you could make it with, if you Gamma someone on your turn, if they're foolish enough to hand trap you, but a lot of players don't really do it. If you don't have a monster on field, they won't hand trap you. It's only really like new players that do that. Then the last 2, I've got 1 Phoenix and I've got 1 Almirage. Almirage is good because obviously if you open maybe just like a Spriggan and Ecclesia, then obviously you can normal the Spriggan, link off into Almirage, special summon Ecclesia, and then you've got some sort of interaction if you've managed to not draw one of your 9 copies of the the field spell. And then Phoenix is just because obviously we play a lot of spells, and I've learned my lesson and I will not get IO'd anymore. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Obviously the lighting's not great because it's really dark at the moment, and there was people making like so much noise outside with this machine, but I don't know what they were doing, cleaning the gutters or something. But yeah, obviously this is not a competitive deck. I made it as competitive as I feel it is. I finished like mid, I think there were like 20 people and I finished 11th, which is not bad considering I was playing Spriggans. Like that's pretty good in my opinion. I will play it again just because it's fun. I'll play it at the least competitive locals, obviously, because no one wants to get absolutely slapped by Bird Up and all those crazy decks. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Spriggans was hella fun, and I would recommend it to anyone. It's super cheap as well. I think you could probably pick up the entire core for like £10. But yeah, I've got another way that I think I'm going to play this, so that will be coming soon. But yeah, look out for more Albaz lore videos, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.